Hello and welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Alliance. Of course, I'm your host Clay, and with me, live for the first time in 2 weeks, because I was on vacation, is Katie. Katie, how you doing?
Hello, boys and girls. I'm doing okay. You know what? I'm on vacation at the moment myself. I'm hanging out at my mom's house, so
Is
I'm
that
doing pretty
really
good.
a vacation?
I can't answer that. She's in the other room. She might be listening.
Oh man! Now, of course, guys.
She said she's listening.
Oh, that's funny. Um, I I was on vacation. We had two very cool episodes come out for you guys last week. Of course, the High Republic adventures tie-ins to, of course, Phase 3, the last bits. Now, I say last bits, but there are, I believe, two more volumes that we are going to be discussing. Um,
Yes, we have the High Republic Adventures Volume 5, and then excuse me, the High Republic Fear of the Jedi.
Yes. So we will still be talking about High Republic, and of course, like those at uh, Random House Worlds did specify that we are not done with the High Republic. It is going to continue in what form they have not yet announced. So we will
Yes.
be waiting on that announcement. Hopefully, very soon. Announcement is my guess. I'm still guessing New York Comic Con. That is next month. So we shall see how all of that is going to, wrap up.
Yep, because you look at it, and New York Comic Con was probably the announcement for all of the summer related things. We do have two books that we know about for next year, which is the Star Wars. Oh my gosh, what is that video game? The Outsiders, Outer Rim. It's the one with Kay and the cute little um
Oh, the strategy based game.
yeah.
Yes, yeah,
So we have that book prequel to the video game. And then we also have Reign of the Empire Book 2, which will be out in the summer or fall.
yes,
One of the two. So I would expect that we will have at least one more book announcement for next year. Hopefully New York Comic Con. Yeah.
yeah. I think so. Also, just want to say, I'm not gonna say what it fully is, just because I want to show everybody on social media once we receive them. That's a little tease. We did get some emails, uh,
Very exciting.
very exciting emails, that we will be receiving some goodies. And so we will be
If we are
sharing that.
lucky, we're not going to jinx it.
Yes, that is very true. Also, we always fail to do this at the beginning of the episode. I want to do this at the beginning of the episode and not at the end of the episode. Guys, we are on social media. Star Wars Alliance. There is no A in the wars. Very important. Don't forget it. We are on Blue Sky and we are on Instagram. Also, starting this weekend, the past weekend, Geek Ultimate Alliance is also on Blue Sky and Instagram and Threads. Uh,
Yeah.
I have put it upon myself to give me all the stress in the world to make all of the content, repost all the content, and everything else for the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network. It's keeping me busy. It's keeping me sane, to be completely honest. Uh,
Well, that's good.
during during this time where I am still looking for a job and whatnot, I needed to do something with my fingers. So I was like, hey, I'll make content. And so if you follow the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network, you will find a full schedule for September for all of our shows, which includes Patreon exclusive content, some of the highlights for TV shows that are going to be reviewed on the network, as well as movies. Uh, I will be jumping into more of the video content as well. Um, if you guys have anything that you would like to see from Star Wars specifically,
Yes.
please let us know. We would love to jump on that on our social media, whether that be memes, whether that be more video content, whether that be more of these static posts, just regular photos with fun facts and things like that, let us know. I think it would be a lot of fun. So
Yeah, and I have a plan for aesthetic photos related to this episode. So I'll talk to Clay about this because I'm gonna let him do the social media stuff. But if I have ideas, I'm gonna contribute.
I
So,
welcome them. I welcome them. And then also, of course, we still have our Star Wars Alliance hotline, 830-538-4828. You can send a text or leave a voicemail. Please leave some sort of nickname or
way to
Instagram
identify
tag
yourself.
or some way to identify yourself, so that way we can give you guys a shout out once we actually read and or listen to that message. And then of course we also have our Gmail Star Wars Alliance, same as our Blue Sky and Instagram handles. No A in Wars, very important, don't forget it. And you can of course send us an email, talking about the show. Give us some. We're gonna be one of the big topics today is gonna be the Dragon Con quiz. If you took the quiz this year, give us your score. What is the questions that you got wrong? Some surprises that you got right, things like that. So, yeah, I think that is it for the shoutouts for the GUA. We are going to go ahead and jump into our first topic. There's only really
Yeah,
two
only really
topics
one
today.
topic? Two
Yeah, one
topics?
topic and then our main topic. Well, that was a good question that I was going to ask you earlier today. What is our main topic? Do you want to do the Dragon Con quiz or do you want to do this Starfighter stuff? So it's really
I
up to
feel
you.
like the Starfighter stuff is probably more SEO worthy, but the Dragon Con stuff is just fun. Um, so I always love tormenting you with the Dragon Con quiz, and Matt. Matt took it
It's
as well.
surprisingly, I will say this. I would have gotten into the finals.
Very good guessing.
I was sweating bullets, Katie. I was
You did better
sweating.
than me then.
I was sweating bullets, and I was like, I have no idea what this question is asking. Click, and just like went on my day. Um,
This is probably the worst I've done in the past 3 years. But I also didn't miss any that I knew the answer. Like I felt like I should have known the answer to. So,
I missed one off of a technicality, and I hate it because it's based. The question is based off of literally my favorite book of last year, and not last year, the year before, and I hate that I got it wrong. I'm actually really mad at myself for getting it wrong, and literally, it's because of a technicality. Like and we'll get to it when we get to it. So first, uh, Dragon
Starfighter.
Gun? Oh, Starfighter. Okay. Starfighter news. Now, guys, there's a lot of things that have come out. Of course, you guys already know this, but I was on vacation, so we're going to listen to it, or not listen to it. Sorry, we're going to talk about it now. We had literally, I think, the day after recording that episode that week, we got some announcements
Yes,
for
Starfighter has started filming.
started filming with some cast members that they seemingly confirmed like right then and there on the spot.
Yeah, so we knew Matt Smith, we knew Ryan Gosling, obviously, we knew Mia Goth.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, brand new information.
Yeah, this was very very interesting, and I want to get the actual list. For some reason, we did not post that list
So
on the.
I so okay, so the hero, like the main character of the story is going to be Flynn Gray, who is a
Yes.
teenage actor, he's a teenage male actor. Um and so he is going to be the one that Ryan Gosling is protecting throughout the movie. And then we have, obviously, we said Matt Smith, Mia Goth. We also have Aaron Pierre, who is playing Jon Stewart in Lanterns.
Yes.
We have Simon Bird, who I'm not sure who that is, I had it all looked up and now I've forgotten because it's 2 weeks later. Um, we have Jamal Westman, Daniel Ings, and Amy Adams.
That was the biggest, like, what?
Right?
Of all of the cast. Of course, Aaron, I think he has been doing really good in Hollywood recently.
Yeah.
He is a name that has been popping off like so much in the last 3 years or so. So seeing him pop up in Star Wars, not really surprised. I'm like, oh yeah, he's going to be a Hollywood it guy for a while. So I'm not surprised that he got his way into Star Wars. Now, Amy Adams. I think Amy Adams is a as big of a what than than what Ryan Gosling was. Ryan
Yeah.
Gosling was one of the names that people were like, is he really a guy for Star Wars? And then you're like, oh, okay, like I can kind of see where his trajectory from where his films have starting like where his filmography is kind of going. He
Yeah.
started to step away from like the like really big Oscar bait movies to more
Yeah.
of the like
Okay, I'm
uh
doing this for fun now, kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. And recently he's been doing a lot of the science fiction stuff. Of course, Project Hail Mary is coming out pretty soon. He's doing this movie. And I think that's really, really fun. Amy Adams. Amy Adams, from everything that I have seen, Superman, Man of Steel slash BVS slash Justice League are the is the only kind of films that I think she was really like, hey, I'm bored, let me go do something else. Because
Yeah.
she is very much like it's so funny because one of her like starting roles in Hollywood was literally a role in Smallville. But like I see her and I feel like every performance could be Oscar worthy, right?
Hmm.
And so when I see her attached to a Star Wars film, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? like
Yeah.
why?
This
Um
was Amy Adams was a huge shocker, really. I did not see that coming in the slightest.
mhm,
Um, Simply because like I feel like she can choose what she wants.
mhm.
And so clearly they either offered her a crap ton of money or she actually really wants to do this.
And I
Her and
wouldn't
Sean
be
Levy, I'm very curious to see how that works.
yeah, I am too. And I will say just because this is very normal inside of Hollywood, I would not be surprised if Amy Adams had some sort of IOU to Disney or Disney had an IOU to Amy Adams for
Yeah.
this to happen, you know? So either or, I'm really excited about it. Josh in the chat saying, I'm super excited for Pierre and Adams. We are too. Like, as we just said,
Yeah.
we're very
I
interested in Adams. I don't know if I would say excited because again, like I said, everything I have seen from her besides like Enchanted would probably be like everything else is almost Oscar worthy as far as her
yeah.
performance, the seriousness of it and everything else. Seeing her in such a well-known IP is going to feel a little weird because even when you look at something like Man of Steel
Hmm.
and BVS, she wasn't in the thick of the superhero stuff, you know?
Well, and especially with the drama that came with BVS and Justice League, to me it's surprising to see her come back to IP. Um, just because of I would guess what she went through and what all the other cast members went through with those stories and with that filming and refilming and everything. So it's super intriguing. Um I will say we're getting a lot of non people of color casted in this so far. So I'm curious to see if some of these characters are that they're playing are going to be aliens to try and integrate some of that. Um, because Aaron's the only one on the list that's got some sort of representation there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be curious to see Adam, what type of alien would you want to see Amy Adams play if she played an alien?
Oh gosh.
I
I
wouldn't say
would
Twi'lek. I feel like
no.
Twi'lek would be too weird.
I think Twilight would be too weird, and honestly, just because of freaking Jessica. Oh, what's her name? In Book of Boba.
Mandalorian?
Yeah, Book of Boba.
Yeah.
She was. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think anybody else can play a Twilight. Oh my god. Whew, whew, whew. Um. So, I don't think Amy can be a Twi'lek. I think, oh shoot, I always forget their name. Um, Star Wars Adventures, pink skin, Medusa like hair.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
It's Zine's
yes,
species.
it is. Let me look it up. It is a
Mikian.
yes, Mikian. I could see her as a Mikian. Um,
Yeah, I could dig that.
I could almost see her as the other mother in the Acolyte. She
Okay.
played a
Zabrak.
Zabrak. I could see Amy
hmm
as a Zabrak or a Mikian.
Zabrak would be good, I feel like, because it would alter her face a little more
Mm-hmm.
structurally as well. So if you're like, okay, I want Amy Adams here, but I don't want her to look like Amy Adams.
Yes.
Zabrak might give her the texture on her face and the horns to relatively disguise some.
Yes. Mm-hmm. 100%.
Um, the
Now,
other announcement that was made with this was Jonathan Troper is
yes.
writing the film, which he wrote
Mm-hmm.
the Adam Project. So super exciting in that regard because I enjoyed the Adam Project.
Mm-hmm.
So good to see that continuation with the process with Sean Levy.
Yes. Very much so. Um, what I was gonna ask is in regards to Amy Adams, what uh what alien, like out there alien species, like one in a million chance could she play?
I do feel like she has a very good facial structure for like Chiss or like not necessarily Pantoran, but like I feel like she could play like a really good Arlani almost. With just her
Okay.
mannerisms especially. I don't think that's going to happen though because I think they want to save the Chiss for the Mandoverse and everything.
Okay.
So I don't see that happening. The other thing that I was going to say is I don't want Amy Adams playing the mom of Flynn Gray. So I feel like that's what she's there for.
I literally think that's what's gonna happen. Um, it's very unfortunate, but like, and I think it's something. Now Amy Adams is well over 30, but
Yeah.
in Hollywood we have learned from a lot of other actresses that once you hit the 30-year like of age, everybody's like, oh, you need to play a mom or a grandma, and it's
Yep.
like, why? So I unfortunately think that might actually be something that might happen.
Yeah, I feel like that's what her casting is there for. Um, It'd be super disappointing to me for her caliber, to kind of be relegated to that side character
Mm-hmm.
aspect. I would love to see her get up there with like close and personal with what's going on. I could also see potentially if they wanted to tie into the Mandoverse stuff to try and bring things forward. If she played a Chiss, I think that could be reasonable too. Just to help kind of continue to tie in everything that Star Wars is trying to do.
Yeah.
Um, so it'll be interesting to see. This movie is going to take place 5 years after Rise of Skywalker, guys. So it is going to be the furthest out there movie that we have. Furthest out there property, I guess. Not necessarily
Well,
just a movie.
and that was something that I was kind of laughing at because literally I think the day before or the day or like 2 days before the announcement that this was going to be officially 5 years after, um there was from the same account, I believe it was Star Wars Holocron, saying, "Oh, just so everybody knows, this has nothing to do with the Skywalker saga. Like nothing whatsoever. Totally irrelevant. Blah blah." Blah. And they're like, "Oh, by the way, 5 years in canon. Blah blah." It's like, guys, like, it's do they don't they? Like, what do we actually think here, Katie?
It all matters in canon.
Well, and that's really why I wanted to ask. So like the statement before them saying, "Oh, it has nothing to do with the Skywalker saga. It's going to be completely separate," can technically still be true
Yes.
because, like what Tony Gilroy said earlier this week, there's billions upon billions of stars out there in the galaxy. So why do we have
You
to
don't
stay?
have to play with those characters.
Exactly, exactly. But just the statement within itself, 5 years after the Rise of Skywalker, really does feel like they will be playing somewhat into the timeline, the characters, and everything else.
Well, I mean, we've heard rumors that Rey is going to make an appearance in this movie. So it's not unreasonable to say that, oh, like, Rey's going to make an appearance, so therefore this is movie number 10 in the Skywalker saga. I mean, sure, but like Mandalorian isn't episode 6.2. Like,
Yeah.
so Kathleen Kennedy has said the Skywalker saga is done. That means that, to me, what that means is, hey, Palpatine as a villain is done. We will not see Palpatine again. We may see Sith again. We may see Rey Skywalker again. Palpatine, it's very much like what I feel like Legends has turned out to be. Like, you had Palpatine, and then you had the Empire as your next saga, and then you had the Yuzan Dong as your next saga, and then you have Killer Beetles, and then Jason Solo as your bad guy. Like, so all of these things, like, you have your villain in this instance, and in this case, I think Rey Skywalker making an appearance isn't a bad thing. So
I don't think
it's
so
all
either. Like,
connected.
I really do wonder though if the rumored Ray appearance is going to be a la that of like Nick Fury and Iron Man. Like,
Oh, I hope
oh,
not.
I'm
I
here
would
to
rather have
assemble a
something
team.
like
Like I think it might though, Katie. If this is something that they are truly trying to do in like building a like a new council, a new academy and everything else, this could be the first inkling of Rey doing that in the sense of like you have the entire adventure like without Rey, so that way it doesn't divert the idea of what the movie is supposed to be standing on, right? And then
mhm.
literally at the very end of the movie, we have Rey Skywalker saying, "I've felt a disturbance in the Force, blah blah blah. Can anybody point me in the direction of what this might be?" And that is telling you, oh, she's trying to build her own academy or trying to build her own council or somewhat.
I do feel like you could go in that direction. I don't feel like she's going to set up a council. I may feel like what it may turn out to be is, I mean, you heard Oscar Isaac this week in his interviews with for Frankenstein go, "Oh, I'd love to team up with Ryan Gosling in a Star Wars movie."
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
Right? I feel like that could lead into a Poe Dameron appearance where Gosling's character takes this kid to the Republic, and Poe Dameron is there, and he's like, and he calls Rey in. I don't feel like it will be a, hey, this is a disturbance in the Force kind of thing. I feel like Rey, as a character, was going to go out on her own to try and find out what she's supposed to do, and she's going to come back as a favor to Poe to rescue this kid, basically, and set him up for success.
I don't know. I feel like that might divert too much from what this Star Wars film is supposed to feel like. Again,
Mm-hmm.
supposed to feel separate from canon. Supposed to feel separated from the Skywalkers. Supposed to be separated from the Empire versus the Republic. You know, this is just
Yeah.
a story within the galaxy that is Star Wars, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you just throw Poe in the middle of it, Rey comes in, it now turns into a Rey movie and not a Starfighter movie with Ryan Gosling.
So you're thinking post credit all the way, basically.
I think it has to either be post credit or let me do this the opposite way just because it's literally how sequential it is. So it's either only third act or post credit.
Okay.
Because I just think if you, because it would be wild, absolutely wild, if in the middle of the movie, you like from the very beginning, like guns are blazing, like things are just off the rails, batshit crazy, right? And then mid movie, Ryan Gosling gives this kid to Rey, and it's like, hey, this guy is causing way too much trouble in my life. Here you go. Rey shows up, takes him, boom. Rey's gone for the rest of the movie, and it's just Ryan Gosling for the rest of the film. That's gonna be wild. Like, you're gonna be like, what the hell was that? Like, I don't think
I mean,
that could happen either.
but let's be real. From what we've heard about this movie, it very much seems like Mandalorian season 1. Like,
Yes.
so let's be real. It's completely plausible that that might happen, and they rush the Mando storyline so that the kid goes off and experiences Jedi-dom and goes, no, I don't want to do this. I want to be with my real dad. And it's Ryan Gosling. Like,
Don't say this, Katie. Don't say this. Don't say it.
I'm just saying, we have had some repetitive storytelling in Star Wars.
We have, but I'm afraid if you
Film and
just
TV. So
if you verbalize it, that it comes true. So stop.
I can't. Though. I can't. I'm the cynical one here. I didn't used to be, but I'm the cynical one.
That is very true. So, I think that is really it for as far as the Starfighter news. From what I was seeing, well, you know what? There's more than just Starfighter stuff here. One thing that I do want to bring up, so like it's a nothing burger thing. Because this was actually something that was talked about. We had heard rumors of this. On September 2nd was the birthday of Keanu Reeves. And Star Wars Holocron posted and said, Keanu Reeves nearly played Soul in The Acolyte. This was true. We heard that they approached Keanu because they had, what's her name? As...
They had Matrix vibes.
Yes,
With,
because the other actress that played
yes.
Trinity. I am not literally clicking my keyboard to see what her name is. Guys, my brain is meshed. I've been spending all of my time with my nearly 3-year-old. So I've been speaking. Well, it's not her birthday yet. It's gonna be in 9 days. But I have literally been speaking in like 2-year-old language. Carrie-Anne Moss. I knew Moss was a part of it, but I didn't know her first name. Yes, Carrie-Anne Moss. We knew that they approached Keanu Reeves because they had also approached Carrie-Anne Moss. We felt that it was a bit on the nose for them to both be a part of this.
Yep.
But it is something that apparently Star Wars still wants to pursue. It says here that Lucasfilm is reportedly remains interested in casting Reeves in a upcoming Star Wars project. I've said it before. I think some people have agreed with me. Bane. Bane. He
You know what
has
I was actually thinking?
what? What?
Especially with Pieces of the Past coming out next week, I was thinking Revan.
See, it goes hand in hand. Bane, Revan, like it really does. It like genuinely, just because of story, plot lines, and stuff, it does go hand in hand, sort of. Um, I think the stoicness of Keanu Reeves' acting, like he plays everything kind of bland.
Hmm.
And when you read the Bane trilogy, it's so funny because I do think there is a lot of emotion in the narration, but
Hmm.
when you hear Bane speak, there's not a lot of emotion in there. It's
See,
just
and I could agree, but also not agree because I feel like, and don't get me wrong, Keanu Reeves definitely has a physicality to his acting. I don't think that physicality matches up to Bane. No,
what do you
like
think?
stature wise. Like I don't
Oh,
read
okay.
like coal miner vibes from Keanu Reeves. And Bane always gave me coal miner vibes. Like very
Yeah.
stocky. Dave Bautista is who I've always like kind of pictured as Bane. And that maybe that's stereotypical, I don't know, but like very stocky, like Keanu Reeves is like, and this
I
is
would
not the
like to.
right
I
word,
would
but like
like to.
nerd vibes. He's not a
So
nerd, but like
I
soccer
see. Okay,
player. I don't know.
I could see Keanu. Okay, so this is gonna be very controversial to High Republic fans, and I apologize. I'm gonna look right at the camera. I'm gonna apologize, but I'm going to fault Lucasfilm and Star Wars for not getting the skin complexion right on the first, second, third, fifth, and sixth time. Keanu Reeves might actually be
V- Very good Elzar vibes in
very
that.
good Elzar vibes. Like I genuinely could see Keanu as
Yeah.
Elzar Man.
Not
Um,
not right obviously according to the description, but like based on how they've drawn him and colored him could very well be.
yes, 100%, and that's what I mean. And I think that could work. Um, excuse me, but I would genuine like all in all, I think Keanu Reeves could make it in a Star Wars film.
You
Um,
let's be real. You give me Keanu Reeves in any role in Star Wars, I will be there opening night. Like, let's be real.
like, and as silly as it sounds, I think he would play a perfectly good droid.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like I think you put Keanu in literally any role in Star Wars,
Yep.
and it puts butts in seats. I think it genuinely would.
Hey,
Um,
Mama.
so I think this would be a good.
I was going to ask my mom who would she like to see Keanu Reeves play in Star Wars, but apparently now she's not listening.
That's funny.
Sorry.
So I think it would genuinely be a good idea for Disney to pursue that.
Hmm.
And currently, there is on my part, I genuinely don't think James Gunn and DC Studios and Peter Safran at that point uh,
Yeah.
are considering the Constantine movie anymore. Even though the last time we've heard Keanu Reeves like, oh yeah, it's things are on board. There's people writing and all this stuff. I don't think it's gonna happen anymore.
It's
So
like
I
the Ryan Johnson Star Wars trilogy.
exactly. So I think it would be smart for Disney to move on that casting on whoever he might play in a Star Wars film, so that way they secure him in the future,
Yep.
100%. But with that, I think that is it.
Well, I actually, when I was looking at your Keanu Reeves thing that you had sent, I actually forgot about it with the Emmys. So Andor season 2 won 4 Emmys.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay, hang on. What just happened to my headphones? All right, please hold. I'm gonna mute my mic. You read the.
Yes. So I have those right here. Um, the Andor season 2 won 4 Emmys: Best Editing for a Drama Series, Best Visual Effects, Best Fantasy Sci-Fi Costumes, Best Production Design for a Narrative Period or Fantasy Program. Now, I do believe there was also what people call a an Oscar snuff, I believe is the correct terminology. Um, but Alan Tudyk was actually up for a Oscar for
For Emmys.
yeah,
And
sorry, not Emmys. Oscar best Emmy for a best voice.
yeah, best voice acting, voiceover. Um, and he lost to Julie Andrews for Bridgerton. And don't get me wrong, I love Julie Andrews, but I watched Bridgerton season 3. Um,
Well,
Alan Tudyk was robbed.
I think he was robbed also. But the thing also, like, how okay. So I would really like to be on the Emmy Council or whatever you want to call it, uh, that defines like the winner for these things.
Yeah.
Because when you look at Julie Andrews for Bridgerton season 3, I want to go back and I'll ask Abby because of course she watches it with me as well. I don't think that Julie Andrews had the amount
No.
of voiceover that Alan Tudyk did as K2SO
Yeah,
in Andor.
especially considering that Bridgerton season 3 was Penelope's season, and so I can't remember the Penelope actress's name, but she did a lot of the voiceover stuff because the whole season was about her coming into the role of Mrs. Whistledown,
Yes.
like, or Lady Whistledown, whatever. Um, so Julie Andrews was not as present as she has been in previous seasons.
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk by far outperformed her in both presence, like in the episodes, but then also just in sheer amount of volume of lines. Like, Julie Andrews should have been like best guest voice acting, and
Now,
Alan Tudyk should have been supporting. I don't know, but like, no, she should not have won.
now he did respond uh, to the whole debacle. Uh, I want to actually see if I can find. Here it is. It says here. Yes, officer, I was robbed just off the 110 highway downtown. She was 89 years old, give or take. She had an umbrella with a parrot, and at the end, she said if I didn't like it, to take a spoonful of sugar, then kicked me right in the nads. Like, like like,
Alan Tudyk, we love you.
he's a funny guy. I think that like he showed his like, oh, this sucks that I lost to Julie Andrews, but also had fun with it. So I
Yep.
genuinely don't think that, and of course, take this as you will, honestly, guys. I don't think that the actors themselves take it as seriously as we, the fans, do, or people who
And
watch these award shows. Now, granted, there could be an actor or actress out there whose one goal is to get this one Emmy or one award or whatever, and that is their life goal, and so they do care a whole lot. That might be true.
and
But
don't get me wrong, I do think he does care, but also Alan Tudyk has the power where losing this award is not gonna matter at the end of the day to
well,
his
and that's
career.
and that's what I was gonna say. Like the fact is, Alan has had a lot of voice acting gigs in the past. He's going to have tons more in the future. This is not him saying, "Oh, this was my one and only chance. I'm never going to get this award because of that dumb Julie Andrews." Like, no, that's not what he's saying. He's just,
Yeah,
like in the post, he's having fun with it, whatever. And I think one of these days, he will be awarded with an actual physical reward
yeah,
for his very talent voice acting.
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so
Um,
now to Dragon Con.
Now to Dragon Con. Now, guys, I'm actually going to read this here. It says at the very top, says, this was the qualifying test that determined which contestants participated in the 15th annual Star Wars Trivia Contest Finals at DragonCon 2025. Since you're seeing this online, it has already been given in person as well as a written exam on Saturday evening, and you're too late to qualify for the finals. So this is just for fun, of course. Which happens at 5:30 on Sunday, blah, blah, blah. However, you can still take this, blah, blah. A score of 38 or higher was required to advance to the finals. Note that even though the test has already been given and the online version has absolutely no impact on anything whatsoever, the Dragon Con Star Wars Trivia Contest is still deadly serious business. So, you are requested to please follow and honor the system and not looking up the answers.
And I
Thank you.
did not. Scout's honor.
I did not, and I had Abby sitting right here. I was like, in case I have to record this or whatever, let's just do this. And she's like, okay. She was looking on her phone. I was like, look at me when I'm taking this test. So you put our names on here. It was completely optional. Had no reason to this. And then there was literally the first question. I solemnly swear not to Google any answers. And you click yes. That's the only answer that they give you to decide on. So I have no idea if these questions are in order. Are they in order? Do you remember if they were in order?
I believe they're in order.
Okay. So you read off the first question, and we will see if they are absolutely in order or not.
Okay, so hang on. So Matt, so just as a generalization for how hard this was, guys, Matt, who has watched every single Star Wars with me and read some of Star Wars comics, got a 22 out of 50.
Hey, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's almost 50%. All right.
Yeah, I think he got like a 19 out of 50 last year. Um,
Hey, getting better. Okay.
so, and then me, I think last year I maybe had a 33 out of 50. This year I didn't do as well. I got a 31 out of 50.
31. And like I said previously, I somehow, with the guessing ability of my, life here, 38 on the dot out of 50.
That's impressive. I've never gotten qualifying. I think I've gotten a 36, a 35, and then this year I got a 31. So,
Okay. So, guys, I'm going to be 100% honest on what things I did and did not guess on when we talk about this, because it is ridiculous, okay? So, the first question, Katie, go ahead and read it off so we know which one.
which hospital on Coruscant was Luthen Rail taken to?
Okay, so it is in order. Guys, we should know this because we've also been talking a lot about the Easter eggs in Andor Season 2. We've been reading the High Republic.
Hmm.
So that correct answer was the Lena So Hospital.
Yep.
All right. Question number 2. What alias did Jedi Master Deepa Bilaba use while infiltrating the Riftwalkers pirate gang in 33 BBY? Now, this was a question I had to guess on because I couldn't remember what mission this was and what
Yep.
book it was from.
And this was John Jackson Miller's book.
The Living Force.
Yeah, The Living Force.
I
The
had a
Life.
feeling
But
I had a feeling it was from the Living Force, but I could not remember.
hmm
So the answers are Eyes, Tita, Wraith, and Hotwire. My two that I broke it down to was Tita and Hotwire. I was like, Tita sounds like too much of an actual name in Star Wars. So I'm gonna say Hotwire because it's a pirate gang. I got it
I
right.
Yeah, I got it right as well. And I just kind of remembered this. Don't ask me how, but I looked at the list and I was like, oh, it's Hotwire. Like, no hesitation, nothing. The next question is, what is the primary language spoken on Kashyyyk? And obviously, everybody should know this. It's Shriwook.
Shriwook. Yes. Uh, the next answer, next question, was one that I got wrong. And I feel so
How did you
bad for
get this
this.
wrong?
I
What
don't
else did you
know.
get right to get 38 out of 50?
Okay, so the question is, what did Gregor and Wolf call the repurposed AT-AT that they lived in on Selos during the Galactic Civil War? The answers are Heavy One, Jupa Base, Stompy, Aftershock. Now, I was like, okay, the AT-AT that they lived in. I had to remember Rebels, okay?
hmm
Thinking through Rebels. Stompy is something that Ezra would have named this thing, so that can't be
Yo.
something that Wolf and Gregor would name it. Heavy One is getting a little closer. Jupa Base and Aftershock. I felt like Jupa Base was a too official for two individuals that are no longer fighting for any real entity. So I was like, Aftershock. It has to be Aftershock. They're so into code names. Aftershock. That's gotta be it. Guys, Aftershock is not the answer.
I did not remember Jupa, but I did remember that it had base on it. So if there had been multiple answers with base on the end, I would have been screwed. But I did remember um that it had base on the end.
Mm-hmm.
Um so the next question is from the Chiss Ascendancy
Which is why I
books.
got it wrong. I'll go
I
ahead
got
and
this
say
one
it.
right. And it was which former Chiss Skywalker accompanied Captain Thrawn on his missions against the Benevolent and the Grisk hegemony. And I'm
Now,
not gonna
before
say the Chiss names.
yes. So, before you answer this, you said it very quickly. There is an hyphen in the title Skywalker. It's not a name, it is a title. It says which former Chiss Skywalker. It's you would have to really understand the Thrawn trilogy and the well, I guess both Thrawn trilogies to understand that terminology. So
Yeah.
for people who haven't read those, you're like, what is a Chiss Skywalker? It's an actual title, not a last name. Uh,
Yep.
so
You're
go
right.
ahead and read those names.
So, okay, again, I'm not reading the Chiss names. So you have their core names, which are Thalius, Ziara, Erolia, and Zistalmu. Um, And probably the only reason that I got this, because it's been a hot minute since I've read the Just Ascendancy books, I knew that the Skywalker that he had worked with had joined the same clan that Thrawn is in, and Thrawn's name is Mithron Euroto. So Aphelios's name is Mythalia Stove. Uh, Completely butchered.
Oh,
So I
okay.
knew Mithron, the
I,
connection was made.
Katie, I literally said any, mini, miny, mo, and I picked one because I knew as soon as it said Chiss Skywalker, I was like, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. I can't even remember the Skywalkers from the first Thrawn trilogy. So, like, there's no way. There was no way. The next question: who rescued Grogu from the Jedi Temple during Operation Nightfall? This was such an I didn't click an answer so, like, I don't think I clicked an answer so fast as I clicked this one. The answers are Diala Pasil, Ahsoka Tano, Eth Koth, and Kelleran Beck. The correct answer is Kelleran Beck. So I as soon as I saw Beck, I was like, boom! That is it. That is the answer 100%.
I do need to go back and look because I don't remember Operation Nightfall being a title anywhere. I would have
Uh,
assumed that this would have been Order 66.
yes. So the only reason why I hesitated because of Operation Nightfall. But then I read the question a second time, and when it said Grogu Jedi Temple, I was like, "Oh,
The
this
only
is
time
Order
we've seen
66."
that is Order 66 in Mandalorian. So I'm gonna have to go back and look up Operation Nightfall.
Yeah.
Um, so the next question, y'all, I'm gonna be honest, Star Destroyer question. I always get ship questions wrong on this without fail.
We both
So
got it
it's
wrong. Yay!
yay! Which resurgent class Star Destroyer served as the flagship of Supreme Leader Kylo Ren in the headquarters of the First Order Supreme Council during the final days of the First Order Resistance War? Y'all, Matt got this right. Um,
What did you
so
choose? Which
I
one
chose
did you choose?
Harbinger.
So did I. So did I.
I was down to let me. So Matt actually sent me his answers too. Um, Hang on, because he picked the right one. Obviously, I had said that already. Um,
The actual answers are Absolution, Finalizer, Harbinger, and Steadfast.
yeah, Steadfast was the right answer.
Yes. Uh, I looked at this and I was like, Absolution and Finalizer don't
Yeah,
sound like real ships. So
I
I'm
had it
not going to
down to
choose those.
Steadfast and Harbinger.
Yeah. The next question is who commanded the CIS forces during the occupation of Kyros? Katie, I
I
guessed
guessed.
on this. I
I
guessed.
guessed.
Did you
I
get it
got it
right?
wrong.
Oh,
I
you
got
got
it
it
wrong.
wrong. I got it right. Now, I got it down to two people. For one, I read the question like 3 times because
Hmm.
I don't remember what the CIS is.
Confederacy of Independent Systems.
So I was like, okay, General Grievous is a character that I know. Hondo is a character I know. Occupation of Kyros. Kyros. Okay, Kyros is another planet that for the life of me, I can't remember. So, do I remember any media whatsoever with Hondo interacting with CIS or Kyros?
I
No.
knew it wasn't Hondo, and I knew it wasn't Grievous.
Exactly.
So I
So
had it
I
down to the same two people, and I just guessed the wrong one.
Martuk and darts, and I just chose darts, and that was the correct answer. Darks
Yep.
Dinar is the name. I really need to like go back to the questions that I guessed on and look up like the occupation of heroes. Like I have no idea what that is. So
Yeah.
I need to go back and see that just so that way I can be a little bit more of a well-known Star Wars nerd, instead of just being like, who knows.
Yeah.
So, Katie, I'm really interested.
Which form of lightsaber content prioritizes defense and was favored by Obi-Wan Kenobi and Kanan Jarrus, among others? You
Did you get
have
this one right?
form. I did get this one right.
So did I.
Very good. Um, so you have Form 4, Neiman, Form 5, Djim So, Form 3, Sorasu, and Form 2, Makashi. I knew it was either Form 3 or Form 4. And probably the only reason that I got this is because I was reading our original intended main topic for tonight, Revenge of the Sith, where it talks about the lightsaber combat forms
So,
in Count Dooku and Obi-Wan and Anakin's fight.
funny enough, Katie, for the past, 3 months on my TikTok, there is I need to share his page with you. I wonder if he does it on Instagram and all the other social medias. But on TikTok specifically, he goes through all of the forms of lightsaber battles and all of the forms of combat in the Star Wars universe. So that of vibroblades, that of
Ooh.
daggers, he does everything. I did not know that there was enough information out there in
Mm-hmm.
the Star Wars ethos and fandom for people to actually study these things. So for
Yeah,
the
it's
so
mainly Legends content, I believe.
okay.
And it's been different Jedi that have done these lightsaber styles, and it's basically somebody gave Obi-Wan Kenobi's fighting style a name and called it Form 3 and said, "This is how Obi-Wan Kenobi fights." And then martial artists, boiled it down step by step and was like, "Okay, this is Form 3," and outlined it on Wikipedia. That's why Legends content, because it's been around for 20 years, people have had
Yeah.
the time to go into those Wikipedia articles and edit them and boil them down to such
So
lengths. But
so
the articles are extensive.
so about 2 months ago, for the past 3 months, I've been watching this guy's content. But 2 months ago, he was doing a lot of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Mace Windu sword stances, and he was
Hmm.
naming the stance along with the form. So I knew as soon as this question came up, I was like, "That's Form 3. I actually know this one." I was really excited for that. The next question: what was the first job the Bad Batch completed for Sidrin Scaleback? Sid is what we know her as.
The
Um,
evil person.
Sid. Um, I
You better have
I
gotten this one right.
I immediately knew this one. I read them all just to see what could trick people, and I could see how people may get this one wrong. But of course, that correct answer is rescuing a Rancor on Ord Mantell.
Yep, because the other, so you had spying on Imperial meeting on Ariade, the end of season 2. Stealing a lizard for Roland Durand was another mission that they went on, but was not the first. And then finding the heart of the mountain on Scar Nal was one that they did for Fee. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I knew that one, thankfully. The next question: why did Darth Vader decide to purge the 13th sister from the Imperial Inquisitorius? Is this the one you got wrong on the technicality?
I got this one wrong on a technicality, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Katie, did you get this one right?
I got this one right.
Okay, so the answers are as follows. She fell in love with a fellow Inquisitor. She crashed a shuttle. She was a rebel spy. And she refused to kill Ethkoth's daughter. I chose because of the technicality of having her story in both versions of the novel and the comic. I clicked, she refused to kill Ethkoth's daughter. Now, the story in the comics does not elaborate as much, of course, as her story in The Rise of the Red Blade. And I should have thought about it more, because I do know in that book, Palpatine said, hey, she is, like, going to become a problem.
Mm-hmm.
She is, you know, she thinks she has big boots to fill in this world of... We read this book and we're like, okay, she thought that she could do all of these things outside of Palpatine's rule, right?
Yep.
And it all started with her love interest. Like, that's how it really started to divert her wanting to fulfill the needs of the Empire. So, yes, she fell in love with a fellow Inquisitor, technically was the first domino. But the technicality of Ethkoth's daughter was a story element within the comics. And technically there was still, like, because there wasn't as much detail from the comics to the book, there was actually not even confirmation that, like, the daughter even survived. So, like, I shouldn't have picked that answer, but I felt pressured and I was like, ah! And I just picked the answer. So, I'm sorry, Delilah Dawson. I love your book. It's my favorite Star Wars book so far. And yet, I got your question wrong. I'm so sorry.
Hell yeah. Alright, so the next question, guys. What did Din Djarin receive as payment from the client in exchange for Grogu? And everybody should know this. It was a Camtono of Beskar.
Yes. Now, people may not know what a Camtono is, but
Beskar was the key word.
100%. Because I looked at it, I was like, I don't know what a Camtono is, but I think I know what Beskar is. Booyah! So, like, Freedom of the Oath, 20,000 credits, and the location of the tribe were the other answers. Freedom of the Oath made absolutely no sense, especially when we know Din Djarin is in love with the Oath. Credits, I get it, bounty, whatever. But Beskar was what moved the story forward for The Mandalorian as a whole. So, of course, that was the answer. Okay.
Next question. Who was Yord Fandor's Jedi Padawan? You had Jackie Lon, Mok Adana, Philic, and Tessie Loa.
This was a guess. This was a guess for me.
I didn't guess on this one. I can't explain how I knew it, but I knew it.
I was like, it can't be Jackie, so it has to be the other three, and I hope I get it right. I didn't even break it down to two. I literally just chose out of the three. The correct answer is Tessie Loa. Is the correct answer. Because first, I read it, I was like, wait a minute, Yord has a Padawan? And then I, like, recanted everything in the Acolyte. I was like, oh, wait, he and his Padawan... The one scene, he and his Padawan were both in the ship in the very beginning of the season to arrest Osha. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he does have a Padawan. Next question.
Guess what? It's a ship question. I got it wrong.
I guessed it and I got it right.
I'm so impressed. I was down to the two. I vaguely remembered a light shuttle, and then I was like, but troop transport. Why do I feel like it's troop transport? I got it wrong. It was the light shuttle.
Yes.
The question is, what type of ship did Finn, Rose, Tycho, and BB-8 commandeer to escape the Supremacy immediately before the Battle of Crate? I was like, troop transport? They were on a Star Destroyer that was exploding? Like...
And I want to literally applaud every single Star Wars fan out there that knows the names of these ships. Because I can almost guarantee you, if I go watch The Last Jedi right now, Finn and or Tico or Rose is not going to step out into the camera and say, hey guys, let's jump on this XI class light shuttle. Like... They don't name these ships out into the open for people to know. These ships are literally named only in the encyclopedia books that are on sale for these movies and other like pieces of media. That's the only way people find
Yep.
out. That's literally the only way. So I applaud anybody who confidently answers these questions and gets them right.
Yep.
The next question: which rebel Corvette
Corvette.
Corvette bleh, performed a ramming maneuver during the Battle of Scarif, destroying two Star Destroyers and the Imperial Shield Gate?
I guessed. I got it wrong.
I guessed, and I got it wrong. What was your guess?
So I had it down to Thunderstrike or Tantive 8. Um,
I had it to Thunderstrike and Duchess Cena.
I knew it wasn't Duchess Senna for some reason. Um, I guessed Thunderstrike. What did you guess?
I guessed Duchess, and we
Okay.
both got it wrong.
Yes, it was Lightmaker. I should have thought about it and gone, okay, Thunderstrike is a little too on the nose. And for some reason, I had in my head, I couldn't decide if it was a Tantive ship, which is the ship that's the Tantive 4, which would have made me guess Tantive 8, or if it was a Hammerhead cruiser. Because it's a Corvette, I was like, okay, I don't feel like it's a Tantive ship.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I guess Thunderstrike. The next question, and I did struggle with this one a little bit, but ultimately I got it right.
Yay! So did I.
Where was the Dread Pirate Tak Rened's secret lair? An asteroid in the slice, at the loose cannon on Gentui, in the ruins of the control tower at Akron, under Skull Ridge Mountain on Lanupa. I couldn't remember if Tak Rened was the pirate in the High Republic, not the High Republic, Young Jedi Adventures, or if it was the one in,
Skeleton
oh
Crew.
my god, yes, thank you, um,
So the only reason why I got it right was because I also had struggled with who this character was. And then when I noticed that two of the answers were with Skeleton Crew, I was like, oh, it has to be that dude that they saw in the holocron. And I was like, okay, I remember it being like a really fancy room that was full of gold. How did they get there? And I just remembered, I was like, oh, they had to go down. They had to go down, down,
yep.
down. So under a Skull Ridge Mountain sounded the most like the correct answer.
I knew it was either the asteroid because I remembered the asteroid pirate layer in Young Jedi Adventures, and then I knew it was under a mountain in Skeleton Crew. And so my clue was at Akron being on this list because I didn't remember the planet name for Skeleton Crew's mountain. So I was like, okay, at Akron is on here, so I feel like this is Skeleton Crew. So that's where I got.
So the next question is, which animal native to Rothana inspired the design of the Grand Army of the Republic's ATTE walkers?
Again,
Now,
a machine ship question. I said one, two, three, four. I picked four.
did you get it right?
No.
No. Okay.
Um,
So the question, what seems to be the ongoing thing here, is that the questions are in order, but the answers are not,
Correct.
because
Yes.
my answer was actually a guess answer, and I got it right. Um, the answers on mine were number one, the Law Griffarl. Number two, the Ice Tromper. Three, the Cath Hound. And four, the Arctic Horny Wilmer.
Yep. So
Did
the
you
cat
break it
hound was
down
number
to?
four. Nope. I literally said I'm not gonna know at all whatsoever.
So I immediately was able to take out Cath Hound because I feel like I've heard that animal before, and a hound wouldn't make sense for a ATTE walker, because I'm thinking, okay, if it has AT in front of it, I'm picturing big ship because of the AT-ATs. So instead, I was like, okay, now I just have the three to choose from. Which am I going to choose? And I chose the Arctic Horny Whelmer, which was the correct answer.
Yeah, I think if I had known what Rothana was, I could have gone, okay, like ice planet, something, and I could have narrowed it down a little bit better. But see, I don't even know what an ETT is. Like, I don't
I
have that picture of that
I
walker in
think
my head.
if I like again, I have no idea what it is, but what I guessed it was, I think it's the like walkers that have more of like a dome
Okay,
shell rather than like the boxy like AT-AT walkers. Yeah.
sure, whatever. I have no idea.
Okay, Katie, what's the next
Um,
answer? What's the next question?
which large feline attacked Padme Amidala in the Patronaki arena on Geonosis in 22 BBY? You had Rakshir, Nexu, Tuka, and Narglak. Did you get this one right?
I did get this one right.
I got this one right as well. It was a Nexu, guys.
Yes. I don't know
I
how
feel
I
like
remembered this. All I knew is that it wasn't a Tuca and it wasn't a Rakshir. And so I was like, okay, I know it's not those two. And I was like, Narglakt? That sounds really weird, and I don't even think that exists in Star Wars. So I was like, I'm
mhm.
pretty sure it's a Nexu because I'm pretty sure I've heard that word before. More so, like, I didn't know it as a, like, yes, 100%. I knew it more so as, like, word recognition.
Yeah. I knew this one. I didn't even look at the other answers. Because I feel like Dragon Con always has an Attack of the Clones animal from the Geonosis arena question on here. So, also the Nexu, fun fact, Han Solo and Leia Organa's granddaughter decides that she wants to have one of those as a pet, in Legends. So she has one on the Millennium Falcon, like a miniature one. So that's also kind of how I had it in my head. Um, the next question I did get wrong, but I had it down to the correct two.
I will tell you this. This was a very hard question because every answer is something that is literally inside the Star Wars universe that
Yep,
is a attack weapon from the Empire. So it
yep.
is a very hard question.
It is a very hard question. The question, guys, is which weapon did the CIS attempt to test on a Lurman village in on Meridoon, and subsequently successfully employ against the Night Sisters? I had it down to Mega Ion Cannon and the Defoliator. I knew it wasn't the Blue Shadow Virus, which was another option, and the Arc
Mm-hmm.
Pulse Generator. I felt like was too funky for
Mm-hmm.
this, so I had it down to Mega Ion Cannon and the Defoliator. And for some reason, because basically, guys, this is one of the early Clone Wars episodes where Anakin Skywalker's hurt and Ahsoka has to come to terms with, oh, is he gonna survive? Am I gonna survive if he dies? Kind of thing. And the Tales of the Empire one episode where you see Morgan Elsbeth,
Mm-hmm.
Morgana Elsbeth's character with the Night Sisters, and that attack is what I'm assuming.
So yeah, so that's the thing, okay? So there was also a episode of Rebels that showed
Right.
the arc pulse generator.
That was what I was like. The Arc Pulse Generator was Rebels.
Yes. I had it between the defoliator and the arc pulse generator. The arc pulse generator, I was like, I'm pretty sure the arc pulse generator was what Sabine helped create. So I
Hmm.
don't think it's that one. So I chose the defiliator, hoping that it was the right answer, and it was.
Maybe that's why I was like, okay, it's not the arc pulse generator, is because I was like, okay, Sabine created one of these, and I didn't that's what it was. I didn't remember Sabine mentioning ion cannon.
Mm,
So I was like, okay, it has to be the arc pulse generator that she was talking about because I knew it wasn't defoliator.
yeah.
And I guess I should have gone, okay, from the Clone Wars episode, I knew it was like a life wiper, but for some reason I stuck with the Tales of the Empire episode where I saw a lot of blue, and ion cannons are typically blue
Mm-hmm.
pulses. So that's what I had in my head, and that's why I went with Mega Ion Cannon.
Yeah. Uh, the next question is, which planet was the location of the pathway to Peridia, which Morgan Elsbeth used on her mission to rescue Grand Admiral Thrawn in 9 ABY. I did say that the Kelleran Beck answer was the quickest that I answered. I may have been wrong. I think this one was. Um, I don't know what compelled me to click Cetos so quickly, but I didn't even look at the I did Cetos. Next question. I felt so confident that it was Cetos.
So I got this one wrong, but I really remember answering Satos. I had the answers were Utapau, Statos, Cetos, Corvus, and Marafa. I thought I clicked Satos. I clicked Corvus. Um,
Okay.
so I should have a 32 out of 50, guys.
Now, I will say there is another question here that had the answer of Silos,
Hmm.
which made me question Cetos. Like, when I pressed submit and I was like looking at all the questions to see which one I had right, I saw the Silos answer, and then I was like, oh
Hmm.
wait, is that other one wrong then? Was it actually Silos? And then no, it was actually it was actually correct. So thankfully, I did get Cetos correct.
Now, this next question, I probably answered this one the quickest, and this was my fault because I fell for answer number one, which was Exar Kun
I
on my
fell for it
list.
too. I fell for it too. I answered too quickly. Now,
The question,
granted,
guys.
granted, the correct answer, I have no idea who that is.
So I okay, so to provide context for our listeners, guys, which ancient Sith Lord was responsible for the construction of the Great Temple on Yavin 4? You had Exar Kun, Freedon Nod, Naga Sado, and Ludo Kresh. I want to say, because I have no idea who Naga Sado is either, I want to say Exar Kun was responsible in Legends, and Naga Sado was the correct answer in canon.
That's a dirty trick.
I feel like that's what it is, and I feel like Naga Sado was that was revealed in the Poe Dameron book. I want to say I'm not
Oh,
100%
I'm gonna have
sure.
to do that because again, guys, I recently, and I say recently, it was earlier, like it was either late last year or early this year. I read, well, we read the first two books of Jedi Academy,
Yep.
and I read I Jedi. The Academy, Luke's Academy, is
Yep.
on Yavin 4.
Yep. So that's what I had in my head.
And the temple that all the younglings go and check
Hmm.
out. And they're like, ooh, this is all dark and mysterious. And I feel like there's dark side here. And it was Exar Kun. And I was like, oh, this has to be it. There's no tricking me here. Exar Kun is 100% the right answer. And they got it. And I was wrong. That's a dirty trick, Dragon Con. It's a dirty trick. The next question.
I don't
You
know
got
how I
this
knew
one.
this.
You got
I
it
got this
right?
right. I don't know how I knew this one, but I got it
Again,
right.
so Katie has not played the games for Jedi Survivor and Jedi
Jedi Fallen Order.
Fallen Order.
I want to say this was mentioned in the book that we read.
It may
Um,
have been. It may have been. But the question is, which pirate gang was based on Kobo until they were substantially dismantled by Cal Kestis in 9 BBY? And I want to say, Dragon Con, you better stop putting years in your questions because it doesn't help me. My brain breaks, and I don't have Katie with me to help me when every single time a year is mentioned, I always go, Katie, is this true? Or Katie, where is this in the timeline? I always ask you because you are always the person to go to for the timeline. So
I don't know why the timeline just sticks in my head.
every single time there is a question with a BBY or ABY, my
Hmm.
brain just breaks for a little bit. I'm just like, and then I have to just read the question without the year, and then it makes more sense to me. The answers are the Warbirds, the Bedlam Raiders, the Haxon Brood, and
Haxion.
Haxion Brood, sorry, and the Kanji
Conja
Club.
Club.
Kanji Club. The correct answer is the Bedlam Raiders. I knew this because I've played the video games. Katie guessed because of the book, which is amazing.
Yeah, I will say I would have had it down to Bedlam Raiders and Warbirds because Haxion Brood was in a different era of Star Wars and Conja Club was also a different area. It was sequel era. I don't remember where Haxion was, but I knew it wasn't Empire era. So
Okay.
I knew it was either I would have known it was either Bedlam Raiders or Warbirds. Now y'all, this next question I again fell for because Legends, but if you have read from a certain point of view Empire Strikes Back, you would know this one. And I knew this, but I also didn't want it to be true because of the X-Wing series books. So in my heart, I went with my heart versus what I knew was the right answer. So the question, guys, which member of Rogue Squadron crash chased Snowspeeder into General Veer's AT-AT during the Battle of Hoth? And it was Derek, Hobby Kivian, Zev Seneska, Wedge Antilles, and Wes Jansen. And guys, if you've read the X-Wing books by Michael A. Stackpole, you would know Hobby, Wedge, and Wes all survive. And the person who crashed into General Veer's AT-AT did not, because we know that. So I picked the one that we hadn't heard of. The correct answer in canon is Hobby. Um,
So here's a
so
guy who hasn't read the books or anything. So I took a guess. I chose Wes Jansen because I knew it wasn't Wedge. I had no idea who Hobby was, but I was like, he has a nickname. He's got to survive. And then Zev, I was like, I don't think so. So I literally just chose Wes Jansen because I was like, that sounds like too much of a real world name. So he's got to die.
no, so Wes and Hobby, basically everybody considers them boyfriends in
Okay.
Legends because of their relationship. So this was another like tricky one where if you've like read Legends, like you would fall for this one basically.
Ah, okay. So, next question. Why did Obi-Wan Kenobi and Quinlan Voss travel to Teth in 21 BBY? Again, brain broken for a second. Just for a quick second, I was like, wait, hold take out the BBY. Why did Obi-Wan Kenobi and Quinlan Voss travel to Teth? Now, that makes it even harder because there's many times that Obi-Wan and Quinlan went on a lot of missions. So I was like, shit, I just made it harder
Not
for myself.
really.
Okay.
Quinlan is in one arc of Clone Wars as a main character.
Now, Clone Wars. But there's
The,
books and everywhere
the
else.
only other mission. Now, okay, I don't know about comics, but the only other mission that Quinlan and Obi-Wan go on is to find Asajj Ventress in whatever that book is called.
The I literally had it at the tip of my tongue, and as soon as you started talking, I was like, bleh. Like
I did too. Anyways, so Asajj is not mentioned on this list.
Correct. Which is why I was like, okay, I really have to start thinking about this now. Because I immediately, as soon as I finished the question, I was like, oh, to bury Asajj. And I was like, wait a second. They didn't go to Tath to bury her, so that's wrong.
The other reason that you know that it was not the Asajj Ventress mission is because of the year. Because 21 BBY is not 19 BBY. Because the mission with Asajj takes place in 19 BBY, days before Revenge of the Sith.
Katie, you're talking to somebody who has no idea how to look at Star Wars timelines. I need to learn. I know.
Okay, here's the simplest way to think about it. Okay, so 19 BBY is Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
19 BBY is when Luke and Leia were born.
Yes.
0 BBY, 0 ABY, Battle
Yes.
of Yavin, A New Hope. Luke and Leia are 19 in A New Hope.
Yes.
So you go, is Padme pregnant at this time? Then you're Revenge of the Sith area. If Padme's not pregnant, then you're previous to that. So
Okay.
backwards. Or you go, you add on if you're BBY.
Okay. I still have a lot to learn when it comes to looking at the timeline. But
Here you go, Padme pregnant or dead, then we are 19 BBY or less.
okay. So
Padme alive, not pregnant, 19 BBY plus.
the answers for this question are 1, to gamble on a pod race. I knew this was not the answer.
Correct, yes.
2, to hunt for Zero the Hutt. This was
Correct
questionable.
answer.
That is the correct answer. 3, to rescue Even Pyle.
Which we know because Even, I think, was on the mission where Tarkin was introduced in Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Quinlan Vos was not on that mission.
Yes. And then the last one, to raid General Grievous's castle.
Which Quinlan and Obi-Wan were not a part of. Fisto and his former Padawan were a part of.
Yes. So, because of this is just how my brain works, I immediately thought of the Quinlan Vos book. I didn't go to Clone Wars. And so I was like, General Grievous was part of that book, but was there an invasion on his castle? No. The only invasion of any type of castle was when they confronted Dooku. And it wasn't Obi-Wan in Quinlan, it was Asajj in Quinlan. So I was like,
Yep.
okay, that immediately takes this out of the scenario. It has to be the hunt for Zero the Hutt.
Yep. Alright, next question. Don't ask me how I knew this. I think this was an offhanded reference in a book somewhere that I just magically managed to have stuck in my brain.
This was literally, when in doubt, see your way out. A, B, C. I chose C, and somehow it was the right answer.
Okay, it was answer number C for me as well. I said answer number C. It was C as well for me. So it's which species invented Bacta? The Gishi, the Ryorians, the Vratics, and the Sting.
That's so weird. That's
think-
exactly the exact same ones as me. That's weird.
That's
okay.
so funny because none of the ones that you have read off so far have matched.
Been
what I
exactly
have.
the same. Yeah.
So I think this was a mention in a High Republic book because Bacta exists in High Republic, but it's brand new. So I feel like it was mentioned somewhere in the High Republic books. Okay, next question. Did you fall for this like Matt almost did? What does
Uh,
the Mandola word Bescargum mean in basic?
um, I saw Beskar and I said armor. I literally.
Matt almost fell for this because the right answer is armor, but he was like, Beskar, I know Beskar armor, but like, are we saying armor armor? Like in that case? So he almost fell for this and said it was idiot, but then he was like, no, it's gotta be armor. So that's what he went with. And
Ah,
so all three
okay.
of us got that right.
Very good.
Um, I found this one funny because at least there was one Young Jedi Adventures question on here. So the next
I
question,
was
guys.
so happy at this question. I'm so happy that they put Young Jedi Adventures in this.
Yes. What was the real name of the pirate who operated on Tanu under the alias Tibor Valdorn around 233 BBY? You had Lys Soleil, Zandane, Cyrus Vundir, and Juru Jarot. And I knew it was Cyrus, and I just moved on.
Yep, 100%. The next question. This again,
Rifle machinery related, straight
I
guess. Got it wrong.
straight guess got it wrong as well. For one, I don't even know the character. So
Yeah, Sam.
the question is, what type of weapon did Zuckus habitually carry? Well, Zuckus, you must be carrying some sort of rifle because three of the answers are rifles. Um, so I just literally just chose one. The one I chose was A280 blaster rifle, and that is the wrong answer.
I felt like he was bounty hunter, so I was between snare rifle and disintegrator. Um, and the correct answer was snare rifle, of course, and I chose disintegrator.
Because no disintegration. Never disintegration. Of course.
Did you get the next question right? Which droid manufacturer produced B2 series super battle droids for the CIS?
I literally just guessed, but I did. I was like, okay, well, the first answer is way too damn long. That's a trick.
Yeah.
Don't, don't fall for that. And then I was like, okay, manufacturer. Zerka Arms literally sounds like something that could exist in the real world, so I'm not going to choose that one.
That's the one I
Commerce
chose.
Commerce Guild Droid Works sounds really silly. So I almost chose that one, but I was like, Bactoid just sounds too Star Wars. So I'm going to choose that one. And I got that one right.
I was between Bactoid and Shirtska. Um, and I picked Shirtska because I felt like it was something we had heard in Star Wars. Um, so yeah, I got it wrong.
Okay, so this is one whoever is a fan of Andor should have 100% gotten right. It is a trick. There's a trick answer in here, though. Because of course, the Gorman Massacre.
Yep.
There are a lot of people probably chose the Cortosis ore, especially for the fact that they said it like 13 bajillion times in
It
that one
wasn't
meeting.
cortosis. It was a different ore.
Yes, but
So that's how you knew.
but the fact that it said or could also probably
Hmm.
trick people if they weren't paying attention. But the question is, what was Gorman's primary export product? And it, of course, is spider silk.
Yep. The next question, guys. Again, going back to Empire Strikes Back. How did the Millennium Falcon evade the Star Destroyer Avenger over Hoth in 3 ABY? And the correct answer here, by drifting away in a cloud of trash.
I remember this scene like no like this is one of the most memorable scenes because it's so silly in the way that they use
Mhm.
the CGI. And of course you have freaking Boba Fett drifting off with them as well. So like
Yep.
that's why I remembered it, honestly.
I had to think about this one simply because I knew the comics had done so much with the Millennium Falcon and Star Destroyers. So I was like, okay, is this a comics question or is this Empire Strikes Back? Um, Avenger and Hoth here were the hints to where this was happening. So ultimately, I went with Hoth because I didn't know the name of the Star Destroyer. So I was like, okay, Hoth, it was the trash,
Yep.
not a code. I was between transmitting a stolen Imperial code and trash.
Very nice. The next question. Where on Dagobah did Luke Skywalker experience a vision of the dark side while training in with Yoda and 3ABY? Now, I did not know that this thing had an official name. So this was a very hard question for me. I was like, "Oh, the dark side cave." And I was looking at all the answers. I was like, "Why isn't that an answer? This is so stupid." And I was like, "Okay, the
You read
old
from a certain point of view strikes back.
yes, I did, but I didn't remember it at this moment. Like everybody and their mother remembers it as the Dark Side Cave. Like everybody remembers it as that name. So when I looked at this, I was like, the Old Recluse's Cave, that's stupid. That's not a real name. The lair of the ghost is probably something like a native would call this thing because they see the ghosts of the dark side, whatever. Petrified Valley is sounding a little bit like more evil, but the Cave of Evil is literally the closest thing to the Dark Side Cave, so I chose that one.
The next question, guys. Which Imperial facility was located on Nur, a moon in the Mustafar system? And you had Narkina 5, Imperial Prison Complex, the Emperor's Citadel, the Prism, and then Fortress Inquisitorius. I got this one wrong.
I
had
got it
down
wrong.
Fortress Inquisitorius and Prism. Because I knew Narkina was not it.
I'll be completely honest. I read this question and I was like, I have no idea what anybody's talking about here, so I'm just gonna choose one. And I didn't even see your way out. I just literally clicked and moved on. I chose Emperor's Citadel, and that was clearly wrong.
Because I was like, okay, it could be Emperor Citadel, but then I was like, okay, I feel like the Emperor Citadel is in the unknown regions on whatever that Sith planet is. So that's why I didn't go Emperor Citadel.
Now,
I should have thought about it, the Inquisitorius, but I was like, Inquisitorius, I don't remember it being that close to Mustafar. So that's why I said no.
Is this facility the water moon?
Yep.
Okay, for one, Star Wars, you need to get your science fucking correct, okay? I'm sorry. You put a water moon next to a planet full of lava? That makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, so the moons, like specifically, all of them have different agricultural elements and everything. Like you see it in, it's not just Mustafar that has this. Like you see it with like, I don't you the it's the Claudia Gray book, not Bloodline. It's the Qui-Gon Jinn one.
Oh,
Master and
Master
Apprentice.
Apprentice? Yeah.
Yep. So I wouldn't necessarily blame them for going, okay, water moon with volcano. The other important thing to remember about Mustafar is the Mustafar that you see in Rise of Skywalker is actually the way Mustafar is supposed to be. Palpatine had manipulated Mustafar with the dark side energy to get the volcanoes and everything around.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
Mustafar in Rise of Skywalker is the way Mustafar is supposed to look.
Yeah.
So, just
very true.
Like, general information. Next question, another ship question. How long is a Munificent class star frigate bow to stern? And for some reason, I picked the longest answer instead of one in the middle.
I thought I looked at 825. I was like, that's small for a ship. That can't be possible. Let's just choose a big one. And I was like, 1600 meters is probably not big enough, but 33 feels really big. So I'm just gonna go 2200.
I should have thought about it a little bit more because frigate is definitely small ship.
Mm-hmm.
So I should have gone with that, but this was one where I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna pick one. The next question, High Republic question. Which Grandmaster of the
Yeah.
Jedi Order was captured and subsequently executed by the Nihil in 229 BBY? You had Veter, which was the answer. Sole Agra, Avar Chris, and Zolaru. Matt got this one right. For some reason, he remembers Vader being
I
in Phase 1 comics.
I didn't recognize Salil or Zoe. And I knew Avar Chris did not die. So I was like,
Hmm.
R.I.P. Patri. Like, I knew the answer was Patri, but I looked at all the answers just in case because hello, there's a lot of
Yeah.
Jedi that died. So
Hmm.
when I saw that one, and especially Grandmaster, what also could have gotten you the answer as well, because Patri Viter was a part of the council.
Yep.
Next question. What kind of ships did Grand Admiral Thrawn employ during the Battle of Adelon to prevent the Rebel fleet from escaping into hyperspace? Ship question. Did you get it right?
I did actually get this one right because I know what an interdictor cruiser is.
I guessed. Um, and let me tell you, when I read these, I was like CC 7700 frigate. I was like, that doesn't sound like something that could prevent hyperspace travel. Immobilizer cruisers. Okay, immobilizer. That's a really good, possible answer. Cantwell class arrestor cruiser. I was like, that probably sounds a little small because arrestor sounds like it's something like a
Hmm.
transport. So I was like, okay, no, probably not that one. And then when I saw interdictor class heavy cruiser, I was like, yeah, that's the answer right there.
The interdictor is probably one of the only like class names that you get. Like you have like TIE fighters, Star Destroyers, X Wings. Interdictor is kind of in that same vein. So that's how I knew that one. Is
Yeah.
it's actually mentioned in shows and stuff. The next question, what species was Aporansis? And you had Keldor. This oh my gosh. This Piacean, Quirmian and Syrian, and the correct answer is this one.
This one. No, it's this Piesian. Oh my gosh. This Piesian. I can't even say it myself. Jesus Christ. So, I will say this. I had it between this Piesian, and I'm saying it like 6 different ways. Jesus Christ. And Keldor. Because I knew the, what is it, the Cormian?
Yeah,
Cormian? I was like,
Quirmian.
that is not the right answer. And Syrian was not. I knew those two I could just immediately
Yeah.
push away because those were recognizable names for myself. And people, Oppo Rancisis is a member of the Jedi Council, for people who don't know who that is.
The long necked one.
Yes, the long necked one with a bunch of hair is also uh, an indicator of who that character is.
Hmm.
Next
Next question.
question.
Did you get it right?
This one I did get right.
Good
Now,
job.
I don't know how I got it right because I really wanted to choose Mon Cala, and I was like, "That's a trap." I was like, "It's a trap." So, so because as soon as I said it's a trap, I chose the other one. I chose the other. Like I had it broken down to Mon Cala and Castilian, or Castellan, and I chose that one.
Yep. So this is a resistance question. Which oceanic planet was the supertanker fuel depot Colossus stationed on for the majority of Kazuda Xiona's mission there? And the answer is Castellan. Um, the next
Next
question
question.
I got wrong.
I got this one right. And it's so funny how I got this one right. Okay, so the next question is which BX series commando droid survived the Clone Wars and became an enforcer for the crime lord Jalen Vrax? Now, guys, Jalen Vrax is from the new video game Star Wars Outlaws. I remembered.
Yeah.
I remembered. So here's the answers. It's L8, L9, ND5, M1 4X, and V34. I remembered this because I remembered how many people were thirsting over this random droid as soon as the trailer hit. And I don't know why Indy 5 just like I just remembered every thirst trap video that people created for this droid. It was absolutely insane how many thirsty fans were for one droid.
I didn't remember that at all because I thought this was a Rebels question. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Next question, guys. What animals did Finn, Jana, and their company of former stormtroopers ride during the ground assault portion of the Battle of Exegol?
I immediately thought pig horses, and I was like, that's not an actual answer. So I was like, shark claw. I was like, that sounds like a shark. No. Eopies. I remember that the Eopies are what they ride in
Tatooine.
Tatooine, and then Fathiers were what they rode in The Last Jedi. So
Yep.
the only thing that was left was the Orbox, or as in like a boar, like a pig, and then box.
Yep.
I have no clue, but like immediately, my immediate answer was, oh, the pig horses.
No, I knew it wasn't Sharklaw because I felt like that was too random, and I knew 5 years and Eopies were not right, so I went with Orbox. I
Nice.
got the next two questions wrong. Um,
I got this first question right, and the only reason why I got it right, guys, is because this was the exact episode in Clone Wars where I remember thinking, "Oh, this is more than just a kids show."
yeah.
Like this
Um,
this is literally the episode that I tell everybody who's like everybody who questions whether like they should watch Clone Wars because they feel like it's a kids show. I'm like, "Hey,
mhm,
start with season 4 because there's a racist Jedi that comes out
mhm.
and tries to kill a lot of clones." And they're like, "What?" And it's literally this episode. So
Yeah.
the question is, which member of the 501st Legion was sentenced to death by Pon Krell, the racist Jedi, during the Battle of Umbara? I knew this episode so well that I knew that I was like, okay, it's Fives. I was like, oh, Fives isn't on here,
That's what. Yep.
so it has to be Jesse, and Jesse is the correct answer.
I could not remember who the second one was committed to because I knew I was like, okay, fives. And I was like, okay, fives is not on here. So then I was screwed because I felt like I couldn't remember if it was Jesse or Hardcase who was supporting Pong. And so I was like, okay, one of them is supporting
Hmm.
Pong. And so I was like, okay, it can't be either one of them. And then Rex, I was like, okay, he didn't do it to Rex, or he was about to, and then like
So
overturned kind of
so
thing.
I will
So
say that one answer is completely wrong. Echo is 100% completely wrong.
I guessed
That
Echo.
oh no, Katie. So Rex was involved in that episode, and I believe Hardcase was as well. But
I feel like Hardcase was the one who was reporting to Pong. Now that I
yeah,
know the answer's Jesse,
yeah.
I did not remember where that episode took place in the timeline. If Echo had already been lost at that point, so I was like,
Okay.
Echo, Fives and Echo were hand in hand, so that's
That
why I
makes
went
sense.
Echo because I was
That's
like, okay.
understandable.
So that's where I went with.
Okay.
Um,
So again, applaud anybody who does their research and read just random shit on the
Random
Wikipedia
encyclopedias,
or
Wikipedia.
encyclopedias. So the next question, Katie, go ahead and read it because this is a
Which
bullshit question, by the way, guys. I
it's
don't.
not for trivia. Which establishment in Coruscant's Undercity did Sam Wessel flee into while trying to escape Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker in 22 BBY? Attack of the Clones. You had Level 40 Club, which I felt like was not accurate because I felt like you wouldn't actually have the level that the club is on in the club's name.
I thought that was the exact reason why it was the correct answer. Because, like, that makes sense. Oh, you know the club on level 44? Oh, you mean level 4040 club? Like, yeah, like, I can see that conversation literally being had in Coruscant.
That's why I was like, okay, that's not the answer. The next answer I had on the list, which was actually the one that I went with, which I don't know why I went with this one. It was Reich's Parlor. And then you had the Outlander Club, which is the correct answer, and then Crescent Star. I felt like Crescent Star was too out there, so I guess that's what narrowed me down to Reich's Parlor and the Outlander Club. But I guessed wrong.
I felt the Crescent Star was a little too on the nose for Coruscant Crescent. Like, I was like, nah, that can't be it. Um, and again, I legitimately saw the level 4040 club. I was like, that has to be it. Like, that's literally, it's so on the nose, it has to be it. So we both got that one wrong. The next question: what biome covers most of the surface of Mimban? This was a complete guess because I can't even remember. I can't even remember what Mimban is.
I did not remember what Membon was either. So it's tundra, swamp, mountains, or desert. I felt like mountains and tundra were too weird and wouldn't actually be like a biome in that factor. So I had it down to swamp and desert. And I guessed swamp, which was the right answer.
So Mimban is the planet where Chewbacca and Solo meet for the very first time.
Ah, yeah. So then, yes, swamp would definitely be the right answer.
Yes.
So next question is a Rebels question.
Yes, it is.
Which Mandalorian bounty hunter and former Imperial cadet helped the Spectres liberate Lothal from Imperial control? Ketsu Anyo, Aaron Tal, Jun Sato, and Bo-Katan Kryze. Ketsu's the right answer here.
Yes.
I remembered that. So
yep, same here.
Next question, which I totally got wrong. You're gonna have to read this question because my video is not cooperating.
Yes. So this question is: how many credits did Han Solo borrow and fail to repay to the
Guavian
Death Gang for his Rathtar smuggling job in 34 ABY? Now, this is the exact same type of answer as how long is the ship. I gave it the same type of aspects. I was like, okay, 50,000 feels like it's way too small. 1 million is way too big. 100,000, I can kind of see it. Let's go with 800,000 because I can feel that 800 is a lot more to like really go after Han Solo for compared to a 100,000.
So I think I fat fingered this one again, is what it boils down to, because 850,000 were right next to each other, and I remembered Han or the Guavian Death Gang talking about 50,000 credits in The Force Awakens.
Yes.
So I remember having that. I don't know why 800 is what I answered, unless I fat fingered it. I knew that 50,000 was the right answer. The next question is, what martial art was Shirut Imwe a master of? Teras Kasi, Bakuni Hand, Zama Shiwo, or Ishani? And the correct answer was Zama Shiwo.
Yes.
I had Teras Kasi, and I think that boiled down to the High Republic Phase 2, is that was mentioned somewhere in there. And I was like, Guardians, Shirut was a Guardian. So this is the answer. It was not the answer.
No, the correct answer was Zamushiwo, which is what my guess was. I took the same approach as you did, but I was like, I don't know if they would have really used that type of Easter egg in this, so I'm gonna choose Zamushiwo. Like, I literally just chose one, and I actually
Yeah.
got it right. Next question is, this is
Tales of the Jedi
actually
question.
Tales of the Jedi's question. Who and from what did Count Dooku and Qui-Gon Jinn attempt to rescue on Whale sometime before the invasion of Naboo? I like how they say sometime before the invasion of Naboo instead of putting an actual date, because they're like, oh, we want to give Clay some relaxation on this one and not break his brain, but it still
Well,
broke my brain a little bit.
the funny thing is, you don't actually know when when Tales of the Jedi was happening.
Yeah.
So,
They just
that's why they
know,
have to say
hey,
sometime.
yeah.
Um, and so the correct answer was Ural Dagonet from a group of disaffected
Villagers.
villagers.
This one I did remember. I wanted to read the rest of the answers just in case, because Uriel Dagonet was the very first answer for me.
Okay.
But the other answers were a Gundart named Boomer from Trandoshan Poachers. I don't remember any Trandoshan Poachers
Mm-mm.
in the Tales of the Jedi. The third answer was Senator Talam Ranth from Cad Bane. Cad Bane was not in Tales of the Jedi. And then the last answer, Obi-Wan Kenobi from a Stranglethorn plant. This
Also not in
made
Tales of the Jedi.
but also would make zero sense.
Yep.
Because at the time where Qui-Gon was still a Padawan, Obi-Wan Kenobi would have been an infant. I'm sorry. He would have
Yep.
been way too young. And I understand, oh, from a Stranglethorn plant, a youngling probably could have been stuck in a plant. It just wouldn't make any sense for both Count Dooku and Qui-Gon Jinn to be rescuing them. Like,
Yep.
it just didn't make any sense whatsoever. So that's why I chose Uriel Dagonet.
The next question: Who killed Dryden Voss? A very simple question. If you've seen Solo, you would know the answer to this.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, video cooperate. This is why you shouldn't screen record a 50
So
question quiz.
the answers. The very first answer for me was Tobias Beck. Second one was Kira. Third was Infis Nest, and third was Chewbacca. I don't know who Infis Nest is, or I think
She's
I
the helmeted lady in
uh,
Solo.
Solo. Okay, so I knew this fight took place at the very end of the third act, and I specifically remembered that Kira stabbed him right in the freaking chest. So
Yep,
that's why I got it right.
basically. The 49th question, guys, is what planet did Senator Medici represent in the Galactic Senate until his assassination during the Clone Wars? I didn't remember who this guy was. But I knew it wasn't Chandrila. He didn't. I knew it wasn't the senator from Ryloth, and he didn't sound like a Sullust. So that left Umbara.
Same breakdown as me, Katie. Literally the same breakdown. Because I didn't know who this one was either. I didn't know who this was. And I was like, assassination? I don't remember any assassination of senates. So I knew there was a lot in Star Wars, but I couldn't remember this specific one. So I literally went through the same thing. I was like, not Trangillan, not Ryloth, what Rylothian or whatever you say, and Solus. Yeah. And literally the same, like, okay, this does not sound like a Solus either. So Umbara was literally the only answer that I could guess. Now, guys, the last question, and it does say here in parentheses, like they do every year so far, this question will remain on the test until at least 25% of contestants get it right. This is the 7th year. Katie, I got it right last year. Did you get it right this year?
I got it right last year. I did not get it right this year because I didn't remember this question.
I got it right. Because I literally only remembered it from last year.
I didn't even remember that this question was a thing. I remembered, okay, there's one question on there that's always on there. I didn't remember what it was.
I'm so glad that they are nice enough to remind people, hey, this question has been here before. So because of that, I literally remembered the correct answer, which is Mayo Madarko, Madarkor,
Metacore.
Madakor. Um, and the question is, who was the captain of the Radiant Seven during its final mission, carrying Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi to Naboo? This is, of course, the Phantom Menace question. Um, I literally only remembered the answer because of the question reminding me that it was from last year. And so I looked at it and I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure it's Mayo, but let me look at the other answers. And I don't recognize any of the other answers. So I'm going to choose this one because I'm pretty confident this is what I said last year. And I got it right.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to guess again because I don't remember who it was. Um, you know what we should do? If one of us hosts Geek versus Trivia contest again this year, the Star Wars portion, we should put this question
We
on
should put this question on there. Oh, Katie, I'm literally screen grabbing it right now.
there.
And I am putting it on like even when they announce who the host is going to be and it's not one of us, I'm literally reaching out to them and saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm a part of Geek Ultimate Alliance, partners with GeekVerse. This question has not been answered correctly at all." And by 25% of all people who take this quiz, like, I am literally going to give them that answer. Now, of
Yeah.
course, Taylor or Travis are going to just be listening to this episode and be like, oh shit, let me write this down real quick. But guys, yeah, this is a lot of fun. Honestly, like, and I don't think it would be fun to look up any of these answers. Like, honestly, to
No.
sit here and just type everything out, I think would be kind of boring. Like, it doesn't teach you
Yes.
anything. Um, and plus, just
GPT doesn't teach you anything either.
that is very true. I'm just gonna take this time to kind of harp on my wife, Abby. Stop using it. So, yeah, that was it. This is one of the longest episodes that we've had in a very long time. This is 50 questions, happens every single year. Guys, if you have the chance or had the chance to take this quiz while you were trying to actually get into the finals, please let us know. How did you do? What questions did you get wrong? What questions did you think, like, you would have, like, sworn on your mother's life that you got right and you got wrong? Like, I want to hear some of those answers too. So if you have the chance to reach out to us again, just like in the beginning of this episode, we do have a Blue Sky, we have an Instagram, and we have a hotline and Gmail. There's literally 4 or 5 different ways you can reach us.
Yeah.
On top of our normal personal accounts as well.
Yes,
So,
guys.
of course, that handle is Star Wars Alliance at gmail.com, at Blue Sky, and on Instagram. So please reach out. I think it would be a lot of fun. Of course, there is also
Remember,
the
there's no A in the words. Very important. Don't forget it.
very important. And of course, again, the hotline is 830-538-4828. And again, for me, you can always find me at Fanboy Clay on any and all social media. I am handling most of the social media for the GUA now. So just know that if there is ever a response for a question given to these, it'll probably be me giving you the answer. But just so you know, I will be regurgitating your questions and everything else to the rest of the crew before I give you that answer. So, Katie, what about yourself?
Y'all, you can find me on most social media platforms. It is at Slice with Katie. Um, And yeah, Clay took my whole spiel about where you can find us on the social medias because
Sorry.
that's how I typically end it. No, it's fine. So with that, guys, I want to wish everyone a great day or night, whatever time of day you are listening or watching, and we will see y'all next time. May the force be with you.